All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Michaela Spencer. So I work here at the Internationalization Office at MUN as the Outreach Advisor. So I guess what that encompasses is a lot of different things. While you're here studying, um, I might help you with getting connected to different settlement tasks. I might help you with getting connected to things on campus or in the community. But the goal of this today is to kind of give you some information about some common questions that might come up with settlement in your first couple of weeks here and things that might help you to prepare in advance if you can. So bear with me here. We'll start with our land acknowledgement. So Newfoundland and Labrador are seated on the ancestral homelands of many Indigenous groups. So we start many of our presentations and many of your lectures here will start with a land acknowledgement. So we do acknowledge that the lands on which Memorial University's campuses are situated on are in the traditional territories of diverse Indigenous groups, and we acknowledge with respect the histories and cultures of the Beothuk, the Mi'kmaq, the Innu, and Inuit of this province. So we encourage everyone to reflect on the lands where you are located and the Indigenous peoples for whom these lands are traditional territory. So before we begin, there will be question and answer session at the end of the presentation. So we'll probably do my presentation, then followed by Deepika's, and then a question panel for everyone. So if you do have questions, you can write them in the chat box, which I think both of you are familiar with. But if you have any questions about how to do that, you just let us know. So by listening to this session, hopefully what we aim is that you guys will be able to describe the range of services and supports available through the Internationalization Office. Identify, hopefully, at least one way to connect with an international student advisor, whether that's myself, Deepika, or Harim, and then also know how to participate in any of our Welcome Week events that we have. And then any information around you guys, if you have any children or families here with you, and how to connect with that advisor. So service and supports that are available here at the IO. We are a pretty broad team. As you've met already, myself, Harim, and Deepika have different positions. In addition to that, we also have immigration advisors on campus who will help with anything related to questions you might have around your study permits, around PGWP questions, study permit extensions, those types of things. We also have health insurance advising. So we've got an advisor that can help answer questions specific to any health insurance or MCP questions you might have. We also have off-campus housing settlement questions, so anything in relation to campus cards, transportation, health and wellness on campus or in the community, social insurance number, MCP, that type of thing. Personal support, so that would be through my position. I help get students connected to different services across campus, whether that be wellness and physical health, mental health, addiction supports, family supports, anything like that that might be impacting your personal life. Social programming, so I run social programming here, and family programming, which is run by Deepika. So we'll start with settlement. One of the primary things that you'll need when you first get here is your campus card. So your campus card is your student ID card that you'll use for many things across campus. When you log into your my.mun.ca account, to do this, you'll need to select the Students tab located on the toolbar at the top of the page. Select Request a Card under the Student Services form. Follow the instructions on these screens, and if there's a problem, there is a specific email, campuscard@mun.ca, where you can email any questions or challenges that you run into with getting this set up. So you will receive an email when your campus card is ready to be picked up at the University Center. Typically, it's at our bookstore. There's a little pickup window, but this, once it's ordered, should be ready within a couple of days. And you'll need this very early into your time here at Memorial. Another massive piece of settlement here that's really important, a lot of students often have questions about, is transportation. So the primary mode of transportation here is a Metrobus. That's our public transit. That is the primary way for you to get across the city. So public transportation it goes to City of St. John's, Mount Pearl, Paradise. Those are surrounding areas. It's provided by Metrobus, and it is, available here at the link. All of the routes are listed here, which will outline all the different stops, the times, and the different schedules. So there are different summer and winter schedules. So it is important that when you are looking, that you're looking at the correct schedule, because routes do typically change depending on the season. For a one ride, and a transfer is included in this, it costs $2.50, but it takes coins only to ride the bus. The other option is that you can purchase a bus pass, or what they call an M card. There's a couple of different locations, but purchasing that pass will allow you to just swipe or tap that every time you get on the bus, and it's a bit more accessible than having to carry cash. So you can purchase an M card at the Attic, which is on the 3rd floor of the University Center. It's in the same building as the bookstore, food court, and a lot of other services that will be available to you when you arrive here at MUN. Some other places that you can purchase an M card if you would like to get one are the Avalon Mall customer service, which is pretty close to our campus. It's just up the road, probably about a 5 to 10 minute drive. And any of the Shoppers Drug Mart locations around the city, you can purchase them there as well. So they are pretty accessible depending on where you'll be staying. You can also purchase an M card online, and it can be mailed to you if you wish to do that. So motor vehicle registration. So this is kind of around if you are planning to get a driver's license or a photo ID of some sort. Motor vehicle registration is our I guess, primary site where you need to go for any personal identification or documentation. It's the governor, I guess, of any driver's license related things. It is located in Mount Pearl, so it is a bit farther away from the main campus. If you aren't planning on living in Mount Pearl, and you do not have a driver's license when you arrive, then Metrobus would be your way to get out to Mount Pearl. There is a stop very close to it. But motor vehicle, they offer services such as any identification card, like I said, driver's license renewals, driver's license tests, vehicle renewals, notice of sale. Any of those things can be completed at motor vehicle. It can be challenging to walk in without an appointment, so you can visit the link that is listed in the slideshow here to book an appointment. I would suggest booking an appointment in advance, because sometimes it does take a couple of weeks to get an appointment. You can also call, but I would recommend getting online and booking an appointment if you suspect you'll need to go out there. This way, when you go out, you won't be waiting for a long period, as wait times do tend to be fairly long. So next I'll talk about wellness supports, which we've got quite a few of across campus here. Your primary support for any mental and physical wellness would be the Student Wellness and Counseling Center, or the SWCC. So that is located in the University Center as well. It's kind of the hub for many of the supports, as you can kind of see. But at the Student Wellness and Counseling Center, they offer counseling supports, physician appointments for students and their families. You can meet with a nurse. There's academic supports, vaccinations, and more recently, there are screening tools and a psychiatrist there for any ADHD assessments. So when you are coming here, if you suspect that you might need to make an appointment, all of this is available online. If you just Google the Student Wellness Counseling Center MUN, it'll come up to their main page, and each tab is listed for counseling, physician, nurse, academic supports, and then you can book an appointment online that way, or by emailing the SWCC front desk at mun.ca email listed here in the slide. Either or would be the way to book an appointment, but this is your primary support. If you are a student here attending MUN, everything is here in one place so that it's accessible to you and your family. On top of that, still continuing with wellness supports, Since the Student Wellness and Counseling Center do run on a business schedule, so a Monday to Friday, usually 9 to 4 or 9 to 5, we also want to talk about the GuardMe Student Support Program. So what that is, it is a wellness program for mental health and any personal concerns that might be going on that provides students with real-time appointment-based confidential support. So it's 24/7, any time of the day or night, anywhere in the world. You don't just need to be here in St. John's. If you're a registered student, you can access this. So what this does is it matches you with a counselor that speaks your language, shares your cultural background, or has shared experience for any school, health, or general life concern. So real-time support is available through telephone or chat, so you don't need to speak on the phone if you are not comfortable with that. It is appointment-based. And it is also kind of as needed. So if you're feeling that you need to speak to someone immediately, then this would be one of those options that is available outside of those business hours. There is an app, which I have a little picture here of. It's the My Student Support Program app, where you can access this information, including some other resources, tools, and coping information that after your appointment or before your appointment you want to read about. It is located in the app for you as well. I have the number there as well. So if you want to take that down, or the slide will be available, you can write it down afterwards. And then there's also a website page, the keepmesafe.org, which will bring you to the website page that outlines all of these services and information there as well. So social insurance number. The social insurance number, or SIN, as you'll hear many people call it, is a 9-digit number that you need to work in Canada or to have access to government programs and benefits. So you will require a SIN if you do intend to work in Canada. Your SIN is issued to one person only and cannot legally be used by anyone else. So each person individually has a unique SIN as their identifier. So we will be having SIN clinics here on January 7th and 14th. And if I'm wrong, Harim can correct me on that. But you can also apply online at the link I have posted in the slide here. You will be required to upload a copy of your passport, study permit, and a document. Thank you, Harim. So like a lease agreement, bill, etc., something that states your mailing address. And then your study permit must have a statement indicating that you are entitled to work in Canada. So if you do plan on working while you are here, then this would be one of the primary things you'll need to do when you arrive or just before arriving. Here we are. So we do have the social insurance clinic offered by Service Canada. That, like I said, will be the 7th and 14th of January. So the address for that is here in our office. It'll be 57 Allendale Road at the Global Learning Center. So we are in the second floor, room CA 2004, which is our big social room. We'll have a sign outside. It won't be hard to see, but you will need to bring photocopies of your documents. So your passport, your study permit, your open work permit for spouses or partners, application form will be available here at the clinic, and it is first come, first served. So when you do come, make sure you have photocopies of those documents if you would like to get your SIN and MCP as well. So one thing that I will briefly mention are different types of fraud and scams that we've been seeing. So it is important to be aware of these things when you are arriving, because they can impact you financially. They can impact, you know, your ability to find housing, for example, I guess, access bank accounts, stuff like that. So some options that we often see around fraud are jobs, Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, rental scams, text messages, email phishing, links. A lot of the times they're impersonating different companies or organizations. So it's always important to be sure that you are aware of this when receiving or seeing these messages or emails. So calls is another one. So people pretending to be CRA representatives or police, Service Canada, those types of things. One thing that we are seeing more of is landlord scams. One way, I guess, that I like to help students navigate this is to ask questions. You've got myself, you've got Harim. We're pretty aware of what these look like, and it's important to know when something is legitimate and when it's not. So if you are ever unsure, you can ask one of us, or you can always bring it to the RNC, which is our local police department here. They do have a non-emergency line, which can help with this type of thing because they will keep track of these scams to make public awareness. But if you're ever unsure, feel free to ask questions about this. So how to avoid these scammers? Be cautious, be careful. If you don't know or you're unsure about something, ask. You receive a call that seems scary or urgent, you can call 911 or call campus enforcement. And it's important to report any scammers. If something is a scam and it's been confirmed or you suspect that it's a scam, share this information with other people that you know. So outreach supports, this would be my role. So I am the outreach advisor, which is very broad, as I was saying. I can help with anything from one-on-one advising on a range of issues, such as personal issues that you might be experiencing. If you're wondering, what supports might be available to you in the community or on campus, and you'd like to get connected to those, I can help advise around that. If you're experiencing financial struggles and you're wondering what financial options or bursaries, supports, that type of thing might be available to you, I can assist with that. And then around academics as well. So anything related to if you're unsure about, where you want to go with your program, or maybe you want to make a change with your program, then I can connect you with the supports and services available on campus to make those changes happen as well. On top of that, I also do referrals to additional supports and services out in the community. So if there's ever any recreational supports or community-based supports, food and I guess family supports in the community that you're interested in exploring, then I have that information and can complete referrals to those as well and provide information about that. Any crisis and emergency support and intervention, I also do help with that piece. So if you are experiencing a bit of an emergency situation, and you're unsure of how to navigate that or what the best option is for you, then that is what I am here for, to help you get connected to the right people and to help guide you through that step by step. So I have my contact information there. It's my email, mcspencer@mun.ca. You can write it down. You can send me an email. I do work Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4:30, and I am very responsive with my email. So if you ever have any questions or you even want clarification around what types of supports I might be able to assist with, you can email me, and I encourage you to. On top of those, I also facilitate weekly groups. So we have social groups here at the IO that are meant to help with socialization, prevent isolation, to help you connect with other students, both new students and current and former students do attend our groups. Spouses are welcome to groups as well, but it's a great way to socialize and to kind of, leave the academic piece for a moment and make some new friends while also practicing English. So Wednesdays, every Wednesday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., we have a discussion group. So what this is it's an informal group where we meet weekly, we pick a topic, and those can range from anything from a question Jenga, where we're doing 1-minute quick conversations, to would you rather questions, to personality tests, And we never really know where the conversation is going to take us, but it's always a great way to kind of bounce ideas and debate and discuss different things and get different perspectives on topics. Coffee Club we have on Fridays, so every Friday from 3 to 4:30. This is a more social group where we play a board game, socialize, there are snacks, and every week we pick a different game, and it's a nice way to kind of end your week, relax, and kind of get away from, like I said, the academic piece of things and socialize with people who might be, experiencing some of the same things as you and adjusting to a new place. And that is it. So as I said, if you have any questions, we will have a question and answer period afterwards. And you can write those questions in the chat box.